I wanted to talk about the struggles of being Christian. Becoming saved, you're supposed to become a new man. You accept Christ and the sacrifice he made, and you recognize that he came to save you. You get baptized through water, and then you accept the Holy Spirit. And then you're a new man, right? I would say from experience, it's a little more difficult than that. Seeing as how many of us new saved and transformed beings had an entire life of sin before getting saved, there's a lot of sin that we have to shed off. I can say from experience that some of those come automatically with salvation, and then some are a little more difficult because those are what we call strongholds. They're almost like sins that we've associated with just being us. Like, oh, that's a part of who we are. A good one to use as an example would be drinking. Drinking to get drunk. Especially if you're known as like the party girl or like the party guy. You're the fun and funny one when they get drunk. That becomes of who you associate yourself with, like being that party person. Or it could simply just be a sin that is really hard to let go of. Like, there's all sorts of sins like lust and fornication and addiction, cursing, swearing, just many different things, unforgiveness, many different things that we have struggled with in our past before we became saved. So no, becoming Christian and getting saved does not make us perfect. But personally, I can say that I have had a struggle with smoking weed and letting it go. Now I'm gonna be honest because I'm gonna have to be honest myself because maybe it might help someone. I stopped smoking weed for a long time, and it's not as if I'm a pothead or smoke weed all the time. I only smoke it here and there every now and then, and simply just because I enjoy it. But as a Christian, we know that we are not living anymore for the enjoyment of life or the satisfaction of our flesh. And one thing that I hold on to, or the one thing that kept me smoking, was that the Bible actually doesn't mention anything about drugs. And the world, most people wouldn't actually even want to refer to marijuana as a drug. So it seemed like an extremely gray area for me. Like, I just didn't know what to do. But after some calm consideration of how it just made me feel spiritually, I really became really convicted. Every time I smoked, I would be convicted. I would try to read my Bible and wouldn't even be able to focus. I honestly just believe that it polluted my spirit. Not only that, but smoking made me feel like I was being manipulated. Like, my thoughts were not my own. I felt like my actions were not my own. I felt like I was under a spell, like I was under some sort of witchcraft, and something was manipulating me ever so slightly, and definitely not to do anything crazy, like as if I was drunk, like just gonna go talk to random strangers. But it had an ease of manipulation that I really just wasn't comfortable with. But of course, that just comes with being high. And since I feel convicted about it, I have committed myself to a fast. A fast where I will not eat certain things and definitely not smoke or intake anything that makes me not sober. And I'm just trying to show God that I'm very serious about what he's been telling me, and I don't believe that I'll just pray to God, because I've done before. I've just prayed to God and go, oh God, if I'm not supposed to smoke, just remove the desire. Okay, some things, I believe this for me is a bit more difficult. I believe that can happen for some people, but I believe for me, I need to fast, I need to pray, and I need to be committed to this action of not smoking. I need to actually confront it face to face, like, hey, this is weed I'm talking about, and I'm committing this fast for weed. It's not just for some spiritual cleansing. I don't want to be obtuse about this. I want to be very direct. This is not for spiritual cleansing. This is not so I can get my mind clear, or God, if at the end of this, if I don't have the desire to smoke, I won't, but if I do, I will. No, I'm committing myself to no longer smoking, and this is the beginning, and I'm doing this to show God that I'm serious. I'm giving up other desires as well, so God knows that, hey, she's serious, she's fasting, she's praying. I want God to recognize my efforts so that God can bless me. If you find yourself in addiction, if you find yourself struggling with previous sins and you have been recently saved, I would say to stay in prayer, stay strong. God will never leave you nor forsake you. He has never left your side, and there is always a chance for redemption. You being saved gives you the opportunity to directly speak to the Father and ask him for forgiveness. But just like with any of our parents, we couldn't just say we were sorry. We had to show we were sorry. So one thing is to definitely give your all into no longer doing that wrong thing again. And then the next thing is just to simply do what he asks you to do. Pray to him daily. Pray to him ceasingly. Pray to him through everything that you do, and get to church. Go to church. And surround yourself with people who are believers and who will encourage you and love on you and love you through things. Not people who will judge you, and not people who knew who you were before. Because those people, yeah, they'll see you change and they might be happy for you, or they might not. But most of all, they will try to get you to revert back into those same actions. So protect yourself. Okay, well, good luck, and I love you all. And hope and prayers to all who see this and who want to make a change in their lives. Seriously, for God.